Details about the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. The FBI has now named the suspected shooter. The attempt on Trump's life happened during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, just outside Pittsburgh. The shooter is dead, along with one spectator. 2 people were hurt. We've got team coverage for you this morning with Natalie Haddad and Adriana de Alba digging into the latest information. We're going to begin with Natalie. Natalie, the FBI identified that suspect hours ago, so what did they reveal?
Well, right now we know that he is 20 years old, very young. The FBI revealed the shooter's identity as Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was killed by Secret Service agents at the rally, found on a rooftop just outside the rally's venue. Now, overnight, we learned Crooks is from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. That's about 25 miles south of Butler, where Trump was holding his rally. We also learned Crooks graduated from high school in Bethel Park just 2 years ago. And according to a Pennsylvania voter database, Crooks is a registered Republican, though in 2021, he made a $15 donation to a Democratic group. Now, this year's presidential election would have been the first Crooks was old enough to vote in. Now, sources did see investigators searching Crooks's home after the assassination attempt. There's still many unanswered questions, including what happened in the moments leading up to this, what weapon was used by Crooks, and how the shooter accessed his location and got on that rooftop. The shooter was found again on that rooftop across the rally venue, which former FBI agents have called the perfect perch for a shooter to be able to do something like this. And at this point, Kara, we are unsure why security was not there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest question this morning that we're still trying to get answered. Natalie, thanks for the update and the insights. So Adriana de Alba continues our team coverage with new insight and video that tells us how this all played out.
Yeah, Kara, former President Donald Trump was only minutes into that rally speech when that historic moment unfolded. And this morning, investigators are still trying to figure out what exactly happened. This, they are saying, is a possible assassination attempt. At least one bystander is dead, like you mentioned. And overnight, Trump arrived in New Jersey hours after the world watched him drop to the ground with blood on his right ear before Secret Service agents moved in to rush him off the stage. Now, new video this morning shows Secret Service reacting to that shooting on top of a nearby roof. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News the shooter fired up to 8 rounds using an AR-style rifle from a rooftop. And that rooftop sits just 400 feet from the stage where Trump was standing. One attendee was killed, 2 others are in serious condition this morning, and the gunman is dead.
We have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
A spokesperson for former President Trump said he was taken to the hospital and is fine. Trump released a statement that reads in part, "It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin." President Joe Biden also spoke out on the attack.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
Meanwhile, the Republican National Convention is set to begin tomorrow in Milwaukee. The Trump campaign confirming he still plans to attend.
All right, thank you, Adriana. So reactions starting to pour in as soon as the news broke yesterday, including from Texas leaders. Governor Abbott posted to X saying, "They try to kill him. It will not work." Ted Cruz adding, "This is horrific and wrong and evil." And Colin Allred saying violence of any kind has no place in our democracy, clearly condemning the shooting, as so many others did. And former President George W. Bush said in a statement, "Laura and I are grateful that President Trump is safe following the cowardly attack on his life." And across the globe, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky shared his thoughts overnight.
An assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life, a terrible crime that can only be condemned and which demonstrates how serious the challenges to democracy are globally.
FBI confirmed one person was killed in this shooting and 2 people were hurt, not including Trump. Pennsylvania officials say they are in serious condition this morning. They have not identified any of the victims.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared to release it at this time. We have notified a number of family members, but they have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things.
Now, U.S. Representative Ronnie Jackson told Fox News his nephew was grazed by a bullet at that rally.